talked about a couple of just small chit chat here and there. Um, but it was good to see him and talk to him and like, oh, dude, I just saw this guy like a week ago of his matches, and now I'm in like the same locker room. Like
Yeah, it's
that's
wild, right?
great.
He's in TBW, where they obviously are the mothership of the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit, where he's seen in thousands upon thousands of homes. He's been here, countless times, and then you see him in the ride in the ring, and you're sharing a locker room with them or sharing a backyard with, and it's a fascinating experience in itself. And we are now joined right now on the PWF pages, which I own both of them, the Promo and the Pride Wrestling Federation. There's a lot of people that want to talk to you. I have a lot of comments. Before I get to the second match you had in the Right in the Ring, let me say hello to a bunch of people, because I could see there is a lot of comments here. You've definitely got somebody here that would like to say let's go. So we want to say hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Carmen. Hope you're doing well. And hopefully it's not Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I remember the show in school was Where in the World
Yeah,
is
that's
Carmen
that's
Sandiego.
that's
Is
that's
this
one of
the
my number one supporters, actually.
is
That's
that the
one of
famous? Well, is that the famous Carmen Sandiego that I used to always hear about in school?
probably she's known a lot of places. That is my mother. That
Wow.
is my
Maybe
mother.
I should interview Carmen Sandiego instead of Rob O'Malley. No, no, no. I'm only kidding. We're only kidding. We're only kidding. We're only kidding. Rob is dead. I tell you what, he's got a real shot. I said it in my video. He's a dark horse in this All Wrestling Matters hardcore
Yep,
tournament. Absolutely. And your greatest local champion. So you have another one of your supporters that is
yep.
here. I want to say hello. How you doing? Nice to
Thank
see you.
you.
Nice to meet you.
That's
O'Malley,
great.
let's go. Rob with the long O's. Yeah, I think that was my intro. Yes,
Yep,
I
yep.
get a lot of comments on those.
Thank
And
you.
somebody's celebrating. Yes, Stefan Havoc. Mr. Havoc
Let's
is
go,
here himself.
Stefan. Yeah, you already
What
know.
now? What do you
So
think about Stefan Havoc? He's got a match with Kato coming up. What a really intriguing match
that's going to be a great match
that's
to
going to
see
be.
because
Go talk to me.
it's it's a lot of energy. Stefan's a great guy. He's a madman. I've wrestled. I've seen a lot of madmen. He's up there with them. I don't think he's all up there because these matches, these hardcore matches, he loves it. It's like he feels no pain when he wrestles.
I know. Listen, we talked about it here, and of course, he's the first so far New York wrestler in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, and he's gone through glass, he's gone through
Yep.
barbed wire, tables, he goes through
Everything.
nothing, and he kind of, in a way, called his own shot because he had his own moment, and it's led him into the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament, and he's got a matchup with Kato, and he's another intriguing figure coming up here on
Yeah.
August 24th.
Yeah. Eh, I know Stefan. He's not gonna take it easy because he knows it's not gonna be easy. Kato's also one of those guys where he just likes pain. It's gonna be a brutal match in my opinion. I think it is. Um,
Obviously, there's no question about that. There's
so
no
I wish
no
him the best of luck. So maybe we can face off later on in the tournament.
Two New York boys. How about a New Yorker
Right.
bring home the championship? Some would say that would be
Exactly.
a rather interesting thing here because, as sports fans in New York, we really haven't had much championship winners in New York over these past, while. I mean, the Yankees
Yeah,
last
it
won the
hasn't
World
been
Series.
going.
The Bills haven't won a Super Bowl, and the
Oh,
Yankees haven't won since 2009. I'm a Mets fan, haven't seen them win in my
oh,
lifetime. The Rangers haven't
yep,
won since '94. The Knicks haven't won since 1973, and the Giants won in 2012. All right, we'll give you that one, but the Liberty haven't won, and the Jets, well, they haven't won anything. And I'm an Islanders fan; they've won nothing, and the Sabres have
exactly.
never won the Stanley Cup. So I covered all the regions in New York, but we'll have to see. We'll certainly see. Anything is
Yep.
possible. But I got my money on somebody to win it, and we'll have to find out. Keep an eye out for this one. One of the greats. I definitely agree. Joe Starr is another guy that recently
Yep.
signed with NEW. He's in the tournament as well. Give me your impressions on Joe Starr before I play the second match you had in the Riot in the Ring.
It was again great energy. He's Boricua like me, so that Spanish we always click no matter where we come from. So the energy was great. I loved his energy. Loved his entrance. He's a good guy to wrestle. I'd like to meet him in another round in the tournament as well too.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that you're looking forward to meeting. I mean, there's some different guys here. Mac 10, the landlord here of
Yep.
Sportswire Radio. He's a huge name right now in the hardcore and the wrestling circuit. And he's obviously a guy that's been IWA Deep South Carnage Cup. And also, hello to Zilla. Zilla's kind of like our resident bot on Sportswire Radio. And are you the party boy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once I enter the building, It's
Mm-hmm.
go time. It's party time. It doesn't. Once I'm there, it lights up. That's it.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let me get to some more comments. Well, if you want to book Rob O'Malley, I've actually got the link for you here before anybody else wants to go forward. And those are his links. I'm going to put up Instagram, TikTok in a few minutes. But if you want to book him, he's at o'malley.booking at gmail.com. Also, Rob underscore O underscore Malley. He's on Threads also, but he's not really active on Threads. So just catch him on
Right.
Instagram and especially on TikTok at bearded underscore one under. So make sure you support him and all the things he's about to do. He's got some other big matches coming up here as well. Let me see here some more comments. Well, considering what's going on in the world, considering what the people that they feel the division going on
Oh
in the
man.
world between Republicans, Democrats, Independents, maybe Rob O'Malley, you should run for president. After
Oh,
all, I mean, why not you? I
hey,
suppose.
that too much. Too
Yeah,
much.
too much. Let's. I tell you
No.
what. Let's win
Oh,
the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament first. Then we can go
yeah,
forward.
yeah.
Let's do that.
It's
Let's do
there.
that.
It's
Let's do that. Also, that's my boy. Appreciate that. Somebody loved. I think Carmen loved the Carmen Santiago reference. So
yeah, she
somebody
does.
did. She
She
does.
knows it.
Yes, New York. Yes, you were from Amsterdam, New York, and I'm from New York City. I am
Yep.
in Staten Island, so I'm actually not too far from you, relatively speaking. So if you
Nope,
ever
just a
you,
rock throw away.
you're ever in the city, let me know. And
Yeah.
pizza on me, my friend. And let's see here. Hey, with timing right, my brother. Yeah, you never know. Definitely, you
Right.
never know here. Let me pull back up this link here. I should have the Riot in the Ring match that you had with Mr. King Shock. So let's pull that back up. I think I have the wrong timestamp. Let's see. Did I have the right timestamp? Yep. Okay. 1 second here. And we're going to be here. Also, if you're on Sportswire Radio, make sure you hit that sub button for us. We're at Sportswire Radio 6579. We're also on Twitch at Sportswire Radio. We're there now. You can also check us out over the air on X at Thomas Bryce 2017. And I have the timestamp because you were in the opening of part 3. So here we go for those that are listening and watching. Let's talk about this match before we get to some other events. And now let's pull this back up. And we're seeing you here come out and tell me what's going through your mind here now as you're about to face off with King Shock. Tell me how you're feeling right
Um,
now.
I'm I'm feeling good. Feeling comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Little. I'm super relaxed, honestly, because he just had a crazy match. So I know he's not 100%. So it it was stirring up that it was going to be too easy for me, but I was still focused.
What kind of competitor? I'd asked Havoc this question. I want to ask you the same question. What kind of competitor is King Shock?
Tough, man, dude. He's great. He's a great guy. I love wrestling with him. He's just, oh God, I don't even got words for this guy. There's so many.
Well,
There's
you
just so
gotta
many that
have
comes
some.
to
We're live
mind
on
because
Sportsfire Radio. You gotta have some live.
that's what I'm saying. Like he's just a great wrestler, man. He knows what he's doing. He's quick as hell for his size.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's strong. He's Dude, this guy is something. He's something, and I just love wrestling him.
What's going through your mind? You must be thinking that he had this grueling match with Havoc, that you must feel like that you've got the edge here. How you feel right now, or tell me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm already mapping out my game plan. I was gonna target his back the whole time. Because I what he went through, it was the easiest thing. So that test his strength to see if he has anything left.
Did it
And
surprise you that he had something left, as we see? And just, I'm curious.
um, well, he did a good job hiding that he was ready to go. Because I was a little shocked of how much strength he had, but I just took him off, brought him down quick. So
Havoc made the point that King Shock really wasn't as much of a hardcore wrestler, let's say, as yourself and
right.
certainly Havoc. Do you think that, in a way, Shock maybe shocked people in showing that he could hang, whether it's with Havoc, whether it's yourself, and going as far as he did
Mhm.
in the Riot in the Ring?
Uh, yeah, definitely. and it was an inspiration too, because I, like you said, I'm not hardcore. This was my first hardcore tournament, and it's glad to see somebody else who's doing it for the first time and did an amazing job and coming out on top with that's a huge plus. So it was very inspiring.
Right now, you've got him in a good
Yep.
position. Was there a certain strategy you had going into the match?
Yeah, just trying to weaken his back so I can slow him down. So I was just targeting his midsection the whole time. But he still had life, as you can tell. Kind of stopped me there.
That looked like that hurt there.
Oh, yeah, I was hoping that was going to be the end. I was hoping I'd, squash him with it, but he got his knee right up and it just knocked the wind out of me.
Do you think that because of his conditioning in the shape that he's in, that might have propelled him not only maybe in the match with Havoc, but certainly to hang in with you and to go as far as he did in the Riot in the Ring? Do you think that
Oh, yeah.
played a role for him?
Yeah. Oh, for him to go that far in a tournament with the condition he was going in, that's amazing. That was he's doing something, and I need some of that because I don't know if I would have made it that far and still had the same energy he had.
And now we're seeing him here in the match, and he does. So I think it almost kind of took him a little bit out of him, but he's feeling good right now. And how
Oh yeah,
painful was that? He does kind of like a running
it
drop kick
was
to you, and he runs out of the ring, and you have to talk about that for the audience.
exactly. Yeah, he's like I said, he's so fast. He's like little Speedy Gonzalez, just running, and he's not a small dude. Don't get it twisted. He's not a small dude, so he's running with speed and power.
You know what
That's a
he
big guy with
remind
speed and power.
I tell you what he reminds me of. He reminds me almost of like a slugger in baseball. If you looked at him height wise, he's
Yep,
probably 5'9", I don't know, 5'8", 5'9.5", but
yep.
he's built really well. So in a way, it allows him to be able to be a guy that you look at and say, okay, that's a guy that can hit the ball out of the park. That's a guy that can go up there
Yeah.
and if I need an extra base hit, in a lot of ways, that's kind of what his look is. And I think that's
Oh yeah.
obviously a credit to what he brings to the table here. And for whatever reason, you made a good move here, and it kind of backfires on
Yep.
King Shock, and he's got some shock, and that's a nice kick there. You had a nice
Yep.
little super kick there, and you got him in a nice, almost you were trying to do a Eddie Guerrero there, a bunch of suplexes, but you do get him here. And talk to me about feeling at this moment. You look like you thought you had him, but
I really did. I thought he hit himself with the chair.
you
I
had the
kicked him as
super
hard as I
kick,
could.
you had the super kick, and then you had the
And the
suplex.
German, I thought that
Yep.
was it. And he just kept showing life, and it was pissing me off too. So
And then
I was gonna end it with that
he
neck
comes
breaker
back with his
again.
own super kick there, his own sweet chin music, and
Uh,
you're the one down, and he's looking up at you, and don't tell us what he said to you there, but he's got something that I'm sure is going to add to his arsenal for him. But
uh,
obviously, he's definitely showing he's no House of Misfit. Obviously, his own company is House of Misfits Entertainment in Buffalo, and certainly he's getting angry, and he's starting to get some momentum. Maybe the adrenaline is carrying him here. But
uh,
you do hang in, and you kind of had a little bit of your own resiliency there, and
oh yeah, yeah.
talk about that.
It takes a lot to take me out. Even whippings or not, it takes a lot.
Do you think it
I
also
can
took a
handle it.
lot? Do you think it also took a lot for you, the knowing how much was on the line here to win
Oh
the
yeah,
riot in the ring? That
oh
adds what
yeah.
you think.
Because I still got to win. I still have to win. I didn't forget that. Like I had to do it, but again, he was so fast, and
He
he just
dropped you there.
yeah, and that was it. I
That was the
just saw
match.
stars. It was yeah, that guy.
He had listen. I tell you what, he did really well there. He gets
Yeah.
two. He hangs in there, and I mean, I don't want to ask you what he said, but he kind of he held your hand there and kind of patted it down a little bit. I guess maybe it was his own way of a sign of respect, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was. He's just telling me that it was a great match, and then I was getting up. and he shook my hand, and it was just all respect, nothing but respect, because now he's got his one up on me. I beat him before, now he's beating me. So yeah, I
Was
don't
there
feel
also
that.
a feeling of that, especially with the four of you guys, Vargas, Havoc, yourself, and Shock, that there's this New York bond and that you guys would almost want to see one of yous win the riot in the ring because
Oh
A,
yeah,
the bond,
yeah,
but also you bring something home.
yeah. It's once if we're all at the same show, we're always supporting each other. We stick together, New Yorkers. So
I'm aware of it. I'm a fellow New Yorker. The
we do what
irony of
we
it.
do.
Definitely for sure. And if you want to follow NEW, you want to watch the All Wrestling
Yeah.
Matters Hardcore Tournament, you can do that there on their YouTube page. They just hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. Congratulations to the company. As a matter of fact,
My
I have
boys.
something I'd like to present to NEW, which I've already done it a few times on the air. But if you'd like to see it here for the audience, it's 2,000 subscribers. And congratulations, Rob played a role in that because the Riot in the Ring put them over the finish line. The Riot in the Ring was
Yep.
definitely very exciting, and Rob played a huge role in that alongside all the great talent. And we want to say thank you to NEW for their support, and look forward to seeing more. So let me ask you then, in terms of the Riot in the Ring, did you have any regrets? Do you feel good overall about your showing before I get into some current events?
Yeah, yeah. I was happy with the results and stuff. It was my
Anything you would have
performance.
did differently? Was there anything that you would have did differently, or you feel
Uh,
pretty good about it?
definitely would have taken Shockey a little bit more seriously.
Ah,
But that's what
maybe
like
the win
got me.
against Pepsi
It was a
Man.
rookie mistake.
You're
So
not a rookie, though. You're not a rookie.
I consider myself a rookie for as long as I can. I've seen way better guys than I am, so I'm just trying to get to where they are.
Don't sell
I'll be a
yourself
rookie
short.
because
You're
I'm always
live in
learning.
prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform that's a movement was created for what you're wrestling in. Never sell yourself short. Trust me. These competitors in this All Wrestling Matters tournament, like the guy coming up here in a few minutes, they hear that they're going to eat you for lunch with that. Trust me. I can assure you, you're definitely a worthy competitor. You're here in this tournament for a reason. I can promise you that you are definitely a lot better than some people that come on this platform. Let me promise you on that. So let
I
your heart
appreciate
not
it.
be
I
troubled.
appreciate
But
it.
let me get to some comments here. And for whatever reason, I can't stream on Twitter. I don't know why, but we'll come back to that shortly. Who's your um? I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, I always like the Dudleys. I mean, the Dudleys were always one of my favorite teams back in the
I've
day. ECW.
my favorite. I've always liked underdog. So Brian
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick and Paul London,
That was a, oh my
they're
goodness.
one of my
Were
favorites.
they not tag team champions for like
Yeah,
almost a
they
year?
were. They were. They put on. I thought they put on great matches. Honestly,
They did. They
like
did.
they're for those guys, and like I try to go for the underdogs always because they always tell a better story, and they were just great.
Absolutely. Tag team wrestling, when it's done well, tells a story. And Kendrick and London, in a lot of ways, are kind of one of the maybe forgotten tag team champions,
Yeah.
but they really had a great run. And that's a good one. That's a nice little under the radar one. And Carmen is enjoying the interview from Puerto Rico, beautiful Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I'm sure the weather is no different than it is here in New York. But what time
Oh
is it in Puerto Rico? Is there a time difference in New York or no?
no, I don't think so. I'm pretty
Okay, good
sure.
enough. It's eight. It's what 8:42 there. I'd just be curious if there's
Yeah,
a
it should
time
be the
difference.
same.
Would you have King Shock on the show? Actually, Zilla, who's usually kind of our resident bot, King Shock will be here before the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. As a matter of fact, we're actually supposed to have him a couple weeks ago, but scheduling got in the way. But yes, King Shock will be here, and King Shock though is not in the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. But yes, we'd love to speak with him about his experiences in the
Hmm.
Riot in the Ring, as well as his home company, House of Misfits Entertainment. It was a good match. Yes, it was. And no, see what I mean? You're not a rookie. See, you're definitely not a rookie. See what I mean? You're not a rookie. You've been in the game a while now. You've had some
Yeah.
success, and I'm very happy to have you here. All right, so let me ask you here. So we have the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament coming up. You were in the ring August the 24th, and your opponent is a guy I know very well. He is a guy that has been on this platform multiple times. He is a guy that has wrestled in places like, I don't know, GTS. He wrestled this guy named Grim, wrestled him for his title. He wrestled Mikey Anarchy there a few weeks ago for the hardcore title there. I have seen him in places like Pro Wrestling Venom, Tonighties, and UWF. He's
Yep.
in my Hall of Fame. He's a Twitch streamer. He's a guy that obviously runs a company you've also wrestled in called TF Crew. And his name is the Heartstopper Gabe Sayers. And this could be a match, honestly, Rob, that could be for the actual winner of the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament, but yet it's a first round matchup. Rob,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, it almost reminds me, if you're a fan of football, when you get a first round matchup of two teams that won 10 games or more in the regular season and they match up in the postseason. It almost reminds me of, let's say, a game you might get early in the postseason, like, for example, I don't know, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals, or the
Yep.
Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills, and earlier matchups over the past year. That's how good of a matchup this is. And I'm curious in terms of what can we expect, because I'm about to put that poster up here, and tell me what you're going to do in order to defeat the Heartstopper Gabe Sayers to advance in this All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament 6 weeks from today, 12 p.m. Eastern Time in the NEW Arena.
I, I don't know. It's gonna be hard because again, I learned my mistakes from the last tournament, so I'm not gonna take them lightly.
Well,
Um,
Gabe Sayers, you ain't taking lightly. Gabe
no,
Sayers is not Pepsi Man. I can promise you.
exactly. But it's gonna be a good match. I am dying to get in the ring with him, but I'm gonna give him everything I got because I know this is a big thing for him as well, from coming from his surgery and stuff. So I know he's gonna give it his all. I'm gonna give it my all, and you just gotta watch and see the magic.
Let me ask you this question. Gabe is a guy a lot of people know. He has been on my platform a lot. He's a guy I've known for a long time. As a matter of fact, he's the guy that's actually responsible for connecting this platform to NEW in many ways. Gabe Sayers, you could even say, is, well, responsible for the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament, because he's the one that recommended yours truly to get in touch with the guys in NEW. Certainly Jake Dvorak, Justin Abel Sane, and the list goes on. So Gabe, in many ways, I mean, he might want to win this belt for himself. He might want to win the
Oh yeah,
tournament, but Gabe's a guy I'm sure you prepare differently for than, let's say, the likes of Pepsi Man or even King
right.
Shock. So how do you prepare for a guy like Gabe Sayers?
Um, I'm just gonna. I'm the bigger guy, so I'm gonna just rely on my strength and my speed. Uh, Probably just be more handsy with him. Try to keep him from running around.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but other than that, it's just mostly gonna be strength conditioning. That's all it is. I'm gonna
Does
try
it
to
help?
outmuscle him.
Does it help because Gabe is such a known figure, in that Gabe wrestles in a lot of prominent places? He wrestles in his own company, but he wrestles in places like UWF. He wrestles in places like Pro Wrestling Venom. He wrestles in places like GTS, that you can kind of watch what he's done recently, in addition to the riot in the ring, and be able to prepare for somebody like him and not maybe make the same mistake you made against King Shock.
Right.
That help?
Yeah. That he's just it's smart. I just got to play it different. Like no more rookie mistakes on those. Like
You're not a
no,
rookie, though. You're not a
that's what
rookie.
I'm saying. You guys are, you know. So I'm going in way more focused than anything because I don't know. I think he's got something up his sleeve.
But don't you have something up your sleeve as well?
Yeah, there's always something new. I'm always watching something, thinking of something. I'll always pull out tricks. You just
What
gotta
are
watch.
what are some of the things that inspire you? What are some of the things that would inspire you in a matchup like this?
I haven't really had the time to really research more to like compare, but
But Gabe's a guy that you know
yeah,
personally, so
I've
it's
I've
not.
seen I've
Yeah.
seen some. I've done some homework on him, and
Well,
then
you've
seeing
already been in
live.
the locker room with him in multiple places, so
Right,
that kind of helps a little bit, right?
right. But I'm trying to see more because I feel like I'm missing something. So I'm
Well,
just
let,
really focused on him. That's all
well,
it is.
let me ask you this question: is it different when you're sharing a locker room with somebody versus, let's say, watching somebody on a screen? Because I would imagine when you're in a locker room, let's say with guys like Gabe Sayers, for example, you're watching their match maybe, but you're more concentrated on your own situation. So maybe you don't focus as much. So is it different when you're in a locker room with somebody versus, let's say, sitting down and watching their footage on YouTube or somewhere else?
Yeah, because in the locker room, we're just I'm happy to see him again, and it's just good energy, especially if I'm not facing him. Uh, but watching him on screen and treating him like an opponent because he is, it's a lot different. It's it just feels different.
How much would it mean to you to win the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament? What would that mean to you?
It would mean a lot. It would mean a lot because I just let's see. I would be really excited for it. My name's gonna be out there. There's gonna be a lot of people watching, and it's good to represent New York going everywhere.
We talked about that. New York, for whatever reason, we haven't won much in New York. We haven't won much of anything for our
No,
sports
so I
teams.
want to start changing that, and so does everybody else from New York. Shockey
Well,
does,
sure.
Stefan. We all have the same goal.
Have, let's say, you and Havoc, for example, because we know Shock and Vargas aren't in this, but have the two of you talked a lot about the tournament since it was announced you guys are in the field?
Yeah, it was it was great to say. He called me up and he's like, "Hey, did you get a call to go back?" I was like, "Yeah, did you?" He's like, "Yeah." So it was good to like we both impressed and did what we had to do to get another invite. So we're both feeling great on that.
Were you surprised, or did you think you were going to get a call after you, because you had a good performance? I mean, you still won the
Yeah.
match. You were very. Did you feel like that you did enough if this was going to
Um,
be a thing to get a shot at this?
I felt like I wish I could do more. If Pepsi Man wasn't so easy, I could have put on more of a show. So I was a little like shaken if they were gonna call me back, but I was still overall like knowing I was gonna get a call back.
So you felt like basically you did enough
Yeah,
that you could get the call, basically.
yeah,
Do you feel like this is a second chance in a way? Even though you did well in the Riot in the Ring, you got to win. And it's almost like
yeah.
getting to the playoffs in football and you win, but
And
you
then
didn't get far enough, but you
yeah.
now got another shot at this. Do you feel like now that this is an opportunity to, in a way, maybe redeem yourself, or kind of, again,
Um,
talk to me?
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna bring a little bit more hardcore to it because I'm still not used to weapons. So I think for this tournament, I'm gonna definitely show them why I had to come back.
Well, you
So
had two different opponents, to be fair. Pepsi Man, you
yep,
didn't get much with, and Shock is, he's not really a hardcore guy. Gabe
exactly.
is definitely a hardcore guy. Gabe is a guy that, well,
Yep.
he's a hardcore wrestler. I mean, he's
That's why
definitely
I'm.
in this scene.
Yep. That's why I'm gonna show them that I can be. If I'm gonna be his opponent, I'm definitely gonna show them that I can keep up with him.
And I think we lost Rob. There, do we? Are you
Oh,
there, Rob? I think we
yeah.
lost you. There you go. You
All
cut
right.
out there. What was your last word before I get to some more comments and show
Oh,
some
I just
links?
wanted to make sure that I want them to know that I can keep up with Gabe in the hardcore because I know he's gonna bring it out.
But you know what? Maybe what's an advantage to you is Gabe just wrestled really deep into the field. I mean, Gabe goes out there
Yeah.
and he put his heart out there in it, and he came up short. And maybe you've caught him at the right time because he's in the field, sure, but he just exerted himself a lot, and he's exerted himself a lot in places recently, like Pro Wrestling Venom. He wrestles
Yeah.
Dirty
But
Ron, and Jimmy Controversy has to count to three, and we've seen him in UWF, and we see him in all these places in GTS, and he's exerting himself, and maybe this is the kind of match that you can maybe catch him a little bit off his game a little bit, or maybe you caught him where he's a bit fatigued, and this is where you could maybe get a victory and propel you to go into the field, and again, maybe potentially win that All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament.
yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's finally catching up to him because Gabe's a fighter, so
Yeah,
I
I know
know
that. I've had
he's
him
gonna
here three
be
times,
giving
and
it
actually four
100%,
times I've
even if
had
he
him.
doesn't look it.
Yes, he's a
Uh,
guy that definitely he didn't start out as a hardcore guy, but he's definitely become well ingrained in the scene. You know, and I think another thing
and
that's
he's
important is
adapting
that
to it quick.
he definitely did. I had him here 9 months ago to where he is then to where he is now. It's almost a night and day difference. But let me
Yep.
ask you another thing on this before I move on. I think it's also important to note that you would be the first one. Everybody remembers the first All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament. Everybody remembers the first one that wins. Anything in life, it's always the first impressions.
Yep.
And to be the first, that's got to be even more special should you win it.
Yeah. Definitely. It would. That would be just. I just want to win that tournament, win it all. So it's the first. So I'd be the first to represent out of that company, and it means a lot.
Okay, well, we'll certainly find out. And let me get to a few comments. Get him with the hard punch. That's a good one. That's a good way to put it. But I think Gabe gets a lot more damage to his body, and I think he kind of
Oh
gets
yeah.
used to it at this point. Rob match in Puerto Rico. Have you wrestled in Puerto Rico? Is that what you're
Oh, I
referring
would
to?
love to. I would love to.
I
Love
mean, the
to so
history in
bad.
Puerto Rico with the Colon family and
Exactly.
in Puerto Rico. I mean,
Yeah, that would be nice to just fight in the island. It would be. Oh, I definitely. If you could book me out there, if there's anybody in Puerto Rico,
wow, you know what?
book me,
I
please.
really like you. I know people know that I have a lot of clout, and there's no question that I have a lot of I guess if you want to call it that in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit, but if you think I have that much clout to get you in a match in Puerto Rico somewhere,
Oh,
let's just say never say never. Let's just say
no,
never say never.
exactly.
So let's just say never say never. Joe Star would say it would be great to see you to win, but I'm so sorry, my brother, but I will win. It's a good. What else
I
would he?
I appreciate it, but we're gonna have to find out because I'm I'm bringing it.
Is there any match that you're most excited to see in the tournament that's not yours?
Um, all of them honestly, because there's a lot of names that I've never seen before. Um, there's a lot of people that I've seen that are returning, and they're all good matches, man. They're all good matches. It's I can't really pick one.
No, listen, I think that's
Even
I
that
would
one
say
right
the
there,
same thing.
Power Surge and Castro, that's gonna be a good one to
Yeah,
watch.
Castor's a
That's a
one,
good one
another
too.
guy. I wouldn't sleep on him.
No,
TF
that's
Crew.
that's why I'm excited for that match as well.
There's listen, a lot of great matches. And how about Viper and Joe Star? That's another match.
Yep.
Listen, we talked about it a few days ago. Viper's somebody, or Joe Star that could win it.
Yeah.
Why not them? I mean, you got
Yeah.
how about D Savage and my boy Mac 10? That's a
Exactly.
main listen, that's a main event
They're
in
all main
any
event
promotion.
matches. This
Yeah,
right here's a main event match too. They're
uh,
all main events, so
listen,
it's
you
they're
and
all
Gabe
gonna be great.
Sayers. Listen, Gabe Sayers main evented in GTS.
Yeah.
You've been a guy, you were the WZW Multi Madness tournament winner. You're a TikTok influencer with almost 4,000 followers on TikTok. I mean, there's no question that you and Gabe could be the main event
Oh
of a
yeah.
world title in the promotions. Mac 10 and D Savage is a main event in any promotion outside of
Yep.
that. Power Surge and Caster. I mean, I've seen Ray and Jake already. I've seen that match happen. I mean, you got Havoc and Kato. That's a main
Yep.
event in most places. I mean, there's a lot of matches that I really would love to see. Uh,
Exactly.
I have to get that title for me to be the first. Yeah, you have to. Well, you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to be the first one to win it. You are gonna be the first one because there's been nobody else that's won it so far. So that would be a cool thing to see. But okay. So obviously we'll come back to that. Maybe I'll get a few final words from Gabe. Your match with Gabe in a little while. Let me pull up a couple other links here on the screen. So you've got some other places you're going to be wrestling in very soon, and I want to pull them up for the audience because you got a really big match coming up that I'm very excited about. And I want to show it for the audience here, for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio. A guy I know very well, and I'm sure some of our audience viewing this will know really well. And that is none other than Mr. Eddie Exile. And he is going to be in a match with you in
Yep.
your neck of the woods coming up on September the 21st. And I see it's a show here presented with the likes of TF Crew and Total Effing Chaos, my
Yep.
buddy Hardcore, and just talk to me about what you're going to expect here coming up in a match with Eddie Exile. Boy, you're in another ready for primetime main
Yep.
event match. And
Yep.
talk to me about this match, Rob, and what can we expect?
Um, uh, it's gonna be a big match. He's I faced him before, back in WZW, uh, and he beat me for number one contender spot.
Hmm.
And to see him again and get him again, oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. We wrestle wonderful together. We're main event. That's I'm surprised if we're not gonna be the main event because
I just said it here. I think that's a absolutely just main event almost anywhere. So why not here?
exactly because they're that dude, man, he just doesn't die. I've always said it. Once I've seen him, this guy does not die. He's taking bumps. He's flown everywhere. This guy is unstoppable. And at times, I'm just like, is he even unbeatable? Because he's good. He's so good. And to get my hands on him again,
What is he like then as a competitor that he brings to the table that you have to prepare for?
awareness. You always got to be on your feet wrestling this guy. This guy comes out of nowhere, and
Mm.
he just moves. He pulls. He's strong, quick. His ring awareness is unbelievable. This guy's athletic, so he makes you got to use all your senses against this guy. Always got to be on your toes.
How important is that? We hear this a lot in wrestling, and how important is that awareness, and especially in such a match with high stakes like this one?
Oh, it's key. It's number one. That should that should be everybody's like main priority is being aware because anything could happen, and the faster you can react to it, the better the outcome is.
How big is this match, knowing that it's in basically your hometown, your neck of the woods?
Oh, it feels great to be wrestling back out here. Oh man, when before WZW shut down, it was great. I started my whole career there, and then when they canceled it, now to have it come back, it's a good feeling, and I'm so excited, just spreading the word around.
What did it mean to you to wrestle in WZW?
Oh, a lot. They gave me. They were the first company to, invite me into them, and teach me, and had me be a part of them. It was great. It was it. It made me feel so involved for once. So they really opened my eyes and brought the passion back to me from when I was a kid.
And you're going to certainly, I'm sure, show us some of those things coming up on September the 21st. And what did it mean to you to win that WZW Multi Madness title tournament?
Oh, it was great. It was great. I had to face guys like Shock and some other guys, and it was it was my first win, like my first big win in WCW with a title. So it was my very first title I've won, and it felt great. It felt so great that I can perform and put that much out there and come out on top.
Do you use those experiences of, let's say, winning the WZW Multi Madness, that title, and
Mhm.
then let's say last year in the RWA, the Monroe County title? Do you use that as kind of a springboard to say, hey, I've been
Oh
here,
yeah,
I've been a champion, so talk to me about that?
yeah, that plays a really big part because I'm used to it already. I'm used to being in tournaments. I'm used to being match after match after match, and I've done what it takes to win. So I felt like there wasn't a lot of people who had the same resume as I did in tournaments like that. So I was surprised that I didn't get as far.
But you did, obviously going to propel you coming up here. And, let me ask you then, RWA is where I think I first got familiar with you when we spoke a few weeks ago, because obviously Havoc was a part of that. So was Shock and Vargas. And I remember watching the RWA and, well, covering it. Havoc was here last year, and the man that was also behind RWA was here. And another guy that I won't say his name, almost like because like Joe Hendry, his name will appear, but let's just say
Yep.
it's with three initials. One of them's a number, but let's
Yeah.
certainly not mention that name because we're talking about something very prominent here on this platform. But talk to me about your experience in RWA where you wrestle for the Latino title, but you come
Yep.
back and win the Monroe County championship. So talk to me about winning that and your overall time in RWA.
Uh, it was it was good. It was a good tournament. Mickey Vargas was a tough guy to fight for the
Mhm.
Latino championship. I really had my eye on that one, but
We all
kind
did.
of he got the best of me and won that. So then the fact that they were able to jump me into that bracket, I was definitely going to win it all because I wasn't going to lose again. So I was excited that I won.
Was it because of losing
Yeah,
in the tournament that it fueled you?
yeah, yeah. I was. I didn't want to end that so soon, so it had to be quick.
And talk about the conditions wrestling in this match. I mean, these conditions were absolutely
Uh,
abominable. Was it this bad? I mean, how do you wrestle in a
it wasn't.
environment like this?
It wasn't that bad. It was at that point it was sprinkling, but I've wrestled in the rain before, so I've also had experience doing that. I was comfortable in everything I was playing on, so that's why I got the win.
And those are things that, as a wrestler, do you adjust with the weather conditions? I mean, do
Yeah,
you adjust at all? So talk to
yeah.
me about
You just you got to be adaptable. No matter what condition happens, no matter what happens, you always got to be able to change your game plan and still perform. So the fact that I had experience already wrestling in the rain, it was just a perfect. It was an ease minder that I don't have to change much of my game plan.
that. And that's what we can see here. I guess we're brushing off the rain
Yep.
off the mat, and that
Yeah, it was
gosh,
it was going. It was
it
flooding
was
a
tough.
little bit.
It was tough. It was tough there, but we're about to see you come out. We'll watch a little bit of the match, but let me ask you though this question as we're here, of course, with Rob O'Malley. Rob O'Malley is going to be taking place in the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. He'll be wrestling Gabe Sayers, the Heartstopper. That'll be on August 24th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time is when the tournament will kick off. You can go to the NEW's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, also Patreon pages for more details. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where All Wrestling Matters. I'll also be here at 10:45 Eastern Time with the headline Aaron Blaze, who just wrestled Jack Delta for the ROEW World Championship. So be here for that if you'd like. Also hit the sub button for us on YouTube at Sportswire Radio 657. We're also now on YouTube on the Promo Wrestling Federation YouTube page. TikTok, we're also out. Check us out there at Sportswire Radio, and we're also live on Twitch and on the Pride Wrestling Federation's YouTube page. So definitely check us out in all those great places. But you're obviously still bringing the energy. You're still
Oh
excited. The
yeah.
rain hasn't gotten you down here.
No, no. I don't need a little rain to throw me off. I'm gonna keep the same energy.
What are your goals for this year in 2024? What would be your goals? I know one immediate is to win the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament, but what are some of your other goals?
Um, I want to visit different states. I wanna branch out more. I want
Well,
my name
which
to be
ones would
spread
you
more.
like to visit? Because I could be the
Oh.
man that could connect you. Which ones are you interested in particularly?
Honestly, it could be anything. I'm open to anywhere at all. I've only traveled in my whole life just the Eastern Coast, and that's only just Florida and North Carolina. So anywhere
Okay,
else
well,
would be great.
I can't help. Well, I could technically help you out in one of those states, Florida, but you've already been there. That's Florida backyard wrestling, but I don't know if
Mm.
that would necessarily be your lane. But there is this thing that I'm sure will take place next year in Ohio called Summer Bash in Bremen, Ohio, and I don't know
Yep.
if that would be something you'd like to be a part of, but I
Oh
have
yeah.
no doubt that they would, I'm sure, love to have you because they had a whole list of other people in the world of hardcore wrestling, like this guy Omen Black, the boogeyman of the
Yep.
Midwest, the hardcore god, and Soldier GP was there, and a whole list of other great talents. D'Angelo LaFlame was there. He was a huge part of Summer Bash. Anthony Steele, and I mean, there's a long list of names. Nicholas Crenton, who's in the hardcore wrestling scene. Sean Jovi, who certainly remembers fondly WZW. There's a lot of people I'm sure, that would love to see you out there in Summer Bash. Would that be something you'd want to go
Oh,
to
for sure.
Bremen, Ohio?
Yeah, I would love to go out there.
Yeah.
That'd
There's
be.
a couple
I
of
would be
companies
interested.
also out there. There's DKW, which is
You
the host of the whole Summer Bash. The All Wrestling Matters Tournament Championship was awarded there, and that's Darkron and Matthew Forsaken. And there's also ALW, All Legendary Wrestling, which is in
know?
part by my buddy Big Man Cam, was on Thursday show, but they don't wrestle in a ring. I don't know if you want to be in a non-ring, but
Oh,
DKW
I'll
has
take
the Summer
whatever.
Bash. Well, I would. Well, it's up to you, but if you'd like to go to Ohio, I could definitely connect you there for sure. I could promise you.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. We'll make it happen. We'll pick something.
I could definitely add you there. That would definitely be a lot of fun. I would definitely want to see that. But we're watching the match here, and it's kind of a shorter match than what we saw with Shock. But tell me your mood and how you're feeling right now.
Um. Again, I've been in many triple threats and fatal four ways, so I'm always ready. Uh, Wrestling him was it was hard. Is another. He's one of the bigger guys that I've got the pleasure of wrestling.
He looks like he might be
So
bigger than you. Crazy as
yeah,
this
he
sounds.
was. Yeah, it took a lot. I had to weaken him down here with these knees, and then get clobbered from behind. So
What is Mickey Vargas wearing on his head? Can you tell me what he is wearing?
honestly,
You have
I
no idea.
with all the rain going on, I couldn't even tell.
Boy, well, this is a match that obviously you guys are just hoping to get to the finish, right?
Yep.
Get to the finish. Well, you're about to get to the finish here very soon. But what kind of competitor is Mickey Vargas? Yeah, he was a guy that really didn't want to wrestle in the hardcore of a much in the right in the ring. And what does he bring to the table? I'd be curious for the audience.
He's very aggressive. He's I'm surprised he's not into hardcore like that because he is aggressive, and I think it would suit him. But
Maybe he just doesn't want to get entangled in it. I don't know.
I guess, but hey, it doesn't matter to me, honestly.
Well, we're about to see the match pretty much unfold here, but I think you did something, and you're about to win something here very soon. But I mean, obviously, this would be not a setting you'd want to wrestle in again with this type of rain.
No, it's very dangerous, but we had to fight through it just to get it done.
Well, that was kind of the RWA. It was basically we had to
Yeah.
get it done, and it's kind of done with, and that was kind of the RWA experience.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to see something unfold here. I don't know what Mickey's telling you, but is he telling you get to the finish?
Um, Honestly, I think he was just talking shit. I think he was just talking shit.
He was. It seemed like he was trying to almost maybe will you. I don't know, but obviously you're trying to figure something out here. I know this will not be the match you're going to have with Gabe Sayers, but
No,
yeah, what kind of match was? Well, it's a triple threat to decide who would win the
for the
RWA
RWA. Yep.
Monroe County Championship. That's what it was. The Monroe. Are we in Monroe County? Is Rochester a part of Monroe, if I'm not mistaken, or is that a part
I
of
believe
Broome?
so. Yeah.
What is?
I think Rochester's, yeah.
What was the commute for you from Amsterdam to Rochester?
Um, it wasn't that far. It just feels far. It's like it was yeah, it's like 4 hours.
Wow, 4 hours, boy! I
Yeah.
did not.
And the drive that way makes it feel it's like time slows down when you drive
Oh my
that
god,
way.
that's so crazy that I'm in New York City and in places in the southern tier, or certainly when Shock is, or almost feel like they're really miles and miles away, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
more than that. It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, they sound close, but then when you start driving, they are not close.
But we see here somebody's
Okay.
about to do the
Oh, you're gonna hit him
Umaga
with a
spike,
spike.
and he missed.
Yep. So I thought I'd take this opportunity, hit him with this cross body.
And we're about to
Just
see it
trying to
all.
slow him down a little bit.
And we see you about to do something here. Camera angle, help us out a little bit here, but we're seeing your competitor looks like they're about to be worn out. You do a nice little kick there, and we see this match about to unfold. And what are they holding up there? What was that they were
Uh,
holding up?
it was a monster can. I got hit with a monster can.
Well, I don't think Gabe Sayers is going to hit you with a monster can coming up here on August the 24th. and it
Mm,
was gross that day. Yeah, the weather. I obviously this would be one of those matches. If, I'm sure if you had another chance to do over, would probably say maybe this match shouldn't have been done considering the weather conditions here. But
yeah.
this was one of those moments you probably wish you would have had back. But hey, you were the beneficiary of it. You were the guy that wound up winning the title, and we're about to see something unfold here because you're certainly back on your feet, and you're
Yep.
about to run the ropes, and we're about to see you had do some type of
Cool.
spear. It looked like it was almost a kind of a
It
mini
wasn't
spear,
enough, but it was a
wasn't it?
spear.
Yeah. Well, we're about to see this here right now unfold, and you're about to give him a Stone
Oh
Cold
yeah.
Stunner that James Taylor and Soldier GP, what I'm sure have an opinion on, but it helps you get to the finish line because
Yep.
you win that RWA Monroe County Tournament Championship. And talk to me about winning that Monroe County Championship and what did that mean,
Oh,
right?
it felt good to win my another title in another company, and I was glad I was able to come out on top.
Did you ever think you'd win one after WZW folding? Did you ever think that you know it would
Yeah,
happen again?
I was gonna win something. Just I didn't know how fast it was gonna be.
Well, you did win it here. And congratulations there. Let me get to a bunch of comments. I'm going to take this off the screen shortly. And also, yeah, it was gross that day. Obviously, could tell that this would be one of those. Reminded me when I was a kid playing baseball. If we
Exactly.
had a chance to rain the game out, I probably would have did that. But that's here nor there. Puerto Rico, yes, Puerto Rico definitely has better weather than that. O'Malley takes on the United States. Well, let's let him win the All Wrestling Matters
Yeah.
hardcore tournament first. Let's see here. I respect Joe Star too. Big things for O'Malley. I agree about that. Look at that intro. Yep, definitely a good intro. Thank you for the comments there, Zilla. We'll take this off the screen, put this back up on the screen as we got about another 20 or 25 minutes with Mr. Rob O'Malley himself, who's going to be wrestling one more time. Gabe Sayers, August 24th, All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. He's also wrestling Eddie Exile September 21st, a TF Crew show with Total F and Chaos, which means Hardcore is going to be there and the rest of Ilk. And it's going to be in Amsterdam, which is not too far from Mr. O'Malley's home stomping ground. So look forward to that and more. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. And wanted to ask you here a few other things. Talk to me about your experience in TF Crew with the Death Row show. You wrestled there, and give me your experiences of what that was like last month.
That was it was a good drive. It was a great experience. I actually got to partner with a former WZW guy, Javi Ken.
Yep.
So to have him in my corner there was it was relaxing. It was good to know somebody else there, and then
What
seeing all the other guys like Doc Holliday there was great. Seeing Caster again was great. Uh,
JB Anderson, who was here
yep,
yesterday, he was a part of it. And how
yep,
about this guy,
even
Rad Dad, Radley Belmont? Everybody
yep,
knows Rad Dad, and he's a living legend. Mikey
yep. Chris
Anarchy,
Jackson,
Angel Santiago. Gabe says Jeff Nova. I mean, Jeff
yep,
Nova is
Jeff was
like
there too.
a superstar. Jeff
Yeah, it was
Nova.
great. It was great to see more of the WCW guys there.
And
Yeah,
also,
it
how about,
felt,
I don't know, I got to mention Justin Abel Sane. I got to mention Jake
yep,
Dvorak were there, and just a slew of great talent there in TF Crew.
yeah, it was a great experience.
Would you like to be in TF Crew more often?
Oh yeah, I would love to get invited more. TF Crew. It was a great experience, and I think that I can make that a little bit of home for me.
Not too far from you up there in Connecticut. I know the
Yep,
drive. I know that drive very well because Westchester is the next from New York. Is the next town over
yep.
is Connecticut. You go like another hour up into the TF Crew. So I would definitely love to see you there more often. And also talk to me about this guy here.
Oh, I actually got to train with Tyler Breeze. That was great. It was great. It was for an Immortal event,
Mm-hmm.
and it was it was great to see him in person. I've learned a lot. It helped me build more of my character.
Mm-hmm.
He helped me point out more of my flaws and show me how to correct them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to train with him again.
Did he give you any advice personally? Any advice?
Um, his advice was to because I told him I wanted to get more out there. He just said just pump out videos and just throw my name out there. So here I am, just trying to
Well,
spread the word.
you're here. You're definitely here on Sportswire in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. That All Wrestling Matters. And we see some other things out there. And I want to put this on the screen before I ask you a few more questions because you are big on TikTok. You are a TikTok influencer. Why are you a TikTok
Uh,
influencer? Why is that important? Because voila, you've got a lot of followers on TikTok. As a matter of fact, almost 4,000 of them. And you even have one clip here with 136,000 views. And boy, that's a lot of views there. And your first
yeah.
Royal Rumble. And talk to me about what that was like.
Yeah, my first Rumble. That was great. That was it was exciting. I was so nervous, and going against Corey Diamond was he was one of the legends of WCW. So I was hoping I could throw him over since he's just thrown half the contenders out by himself. So I was hoping I get a good chance to get him. Got him with a good spine buster there, and I was doing everything I can to weaken him more, just throw him over.
You get 136,000 people that watch this on TikTok. What did that
Yeah,
mean for you?
I was surprised. It meant so much that people actually watched me perform and just watched what I love to do. So it meant a lot. And I wouldn't say I was like an influencer. I'm just showing people my
You got
passion.
4,000 followers almost on TikTok. They say if you get to 5,000, I think you get paid on TikTok. So you're actually not that
Uh,
far away.
yeah, I'm just trying to just show them that there is good backyard promotions out there. That they don't look amateur. Like we do know what we're doing, and we are ready for pro.
Well,
So
I think you've improved from the Riot in the Ring to the RWA stuff. I think
yeah,
in the Riot in the Ring, you've done a lot, and I think that that's going to certainly help you. And I think the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament is going to help you a lot in terms of maybe getting out there and doing some things with that. And the match coming up with Eddie Exile for sure, September the
uh,
21st in Amsterdam, New York. You can go to Rob's page on Instagram. You can also go to TF Crew for more information to find Rob if he's there. NEW. You can also check him out if you want to book him. You can book him right here at o'malleybooking@gmail.com. And also, he's done great. We're very proud. Yes, we're definitely very proud of Rob. We definitely love to speak with our fellow New Yorkers. Definitely love that. And support O'Malley and follow his links. Yes, I'm following him on TikTok and Instagram already. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, Joanna. I am definitely following him, and he's definitely has my support. O'Malley in Exile is going to be a good one to watch. Yes, I know Eddie Exile very well. I think Eddie Exile, I don't know if maybe I do follow it. I have a lot of followers. I don't remember who I follow at this
yeah,
point, but I'm sure Eddie and I know each other through the grapevine because after all, if I interview JB Anderson, Jimmy Controversy, Mac 10, Kato, Hardcore, all these other big names, Brian White, I'm sure, Mikey Anarchy, Obey, I'm sure we'll figure it out. But I want to say hello to our friends over in Alabama for the Alliance Wrestling. I'm going to have coverage for them at Tuesday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time with AJ Morgan. AJ
hello,
Morgan's going to have a lot to say, and Aaron Blaze is going to be here at 10:45 p.m. Eastern Time. The headline, Aaron Blaze to speak. After losing the ROEW World title to Jack Delta, he's going to talk about his future and more. But obviously, we've seen the Rumble in itself. We've seen everything about to fall off. I want to say hello to my buddy Chase Wakefield. Do you know a Chase Wakefield out there? Because
yes,
WZW was the one Fed I always wanted to go ever since I met Depew. I think Zachary Depew we're talking about.
yep. We're
Do
talking
you
about
you
him.
know, you know Chase Wakefield? Have you guys met? Because everybody seems to know Chase Wakefield.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've had the pleasure of meeting him, and
Oh, you
and
have met him. What a small
yeah,
world. And he's getting
yep.
engaged, apparently. You have any advice for him since he's getting engaged?
Ah, Vice. You
Advice.
asked
He's
the
getting engaged
wrong
July
guy.
25th. He's going to Uganda, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Um, man, just
Is the
she's
is the
right.
trip
She's
is I
right.
have a yeah, go ahead, jump in. Go ahead.
That's it. She's right. Just let her know she's right.
Well, my advice might be since Chase Wayfield's going to Uganda, is he lining up for like whoever's the next president? Is he getting like a job as like a diplomat or something, or is he going to be an ambassador to Uganda? Is
Ah,
that what the job is? He's going to be an ambassador to Uganda. That's what it is. Maybe who knows? But if
I'm
you
not
want to
sure.
check out, me either. But if you want to check Rob out on TikTok, those are some of his actions here. He's got a lot of followers, a lot of likes. Go follow him. I follow him. He's got a lot of different stuff here, whether it's wrestling, whether it's stuff I don't really want to put up on the screen. He likes social media. He likes Dragon Ball Z. He likes cars. He likes wrestling. He likes his family. You can check him out there and more. Let me get to a few other comments before I get to some closing thoughts. Thank you, Rev. Awesome interview. Thank you, Rob O'Malley. Rob is going all the way up. We are very proud of him. Absolutely. He said, I'm only wrestling. No politics involved, especially in a country like Uganda. I don't want to die. Well, no, I mean, Uganda, you automatically think is like Chase Wakefield up like for an ambassador, because after all, in the wrestling world, everybody knows him. So it wouldn't surprise me if, let's say, whoever the next president is decides that they want to give Chase Wakefield like an ambassador role to Uganda. I mean, if there's anybody
Better
who can
him than
pull it
me.
off, yeah, if anybody can
Better him
pull it
than
off, it's
me.
Chase Wakefield. Everybody knows Chase Wakefield. He's the one guy. They know him in Tennessee. They know him in Ohio. They know him in Massachusetts. They know him in Connecticut. They know him in Mississippi. They know him in Georgia. They know him in Iowa, Indiana. They know him everywhere, and all the way up O'Malley. Absolutely. No question about that. Okay, so let me ask you a few more things here before we get on the air. First of all, if there's one or two moments in your career that stand out most, what would they be?
Oof. Um, moments.
If you have one or two. I mean,
I th- I say it
136,000
was
view
just
one on
battling,
TikTok.
battling exile.
Okay.
'Cause he pushed me to limits my first years of wrestling. So he and the guys at WCW, I just want to thank all of them because they taught me so much, and I really didn't think I can learn this much from so many people at once. So those moments, those people with the moments I have with, are what keeps me wrestling because I just love meeting people like that.
If you were talking to anybody that heard you here the first time tonight, what would you want to say to them in order to go along, follow, and support you on this journey?
Well, if you want entertainment in wrestling, I'm the guy you got to look for. I'm the guy that you want to see every day. Follow, like, comment, share everything. And I try to get involved with the community out there.
No, you have. No, I'll tell you what, you've been a supporter of mine, and obviously you wrestled in RWA. You must be a
Mhm.
patron saint for wrestling in RWA, especially alongside the likes of the guy with the three initials, one with the
Yep.
letter, and even the match you put up there. That match you had definitely is one that I would definitely want to say the riot in the ring is where I'm going to remember you more. WZW, Eddie Exile. You want to buy some
Yep.
merchandise? Definitely from Dusk
Yes,
Till
please.
Dawn. He's definitely buy merch. That's how our wrestlers get supported. So if there's anything you can do to support our wrestlers, go out there and buy some merchandise. Where else can we see you wrestling coming up? I understand we know we're going to see you on
Um,
August 24th, September 21st, but is there anywhere else we may see you?
I will be wrestling for WTW in Newark, Delaware. That's going to
Oh,
be
I know
a new
Newark,
spot.
Delaware. Sure.
Yep, that's
WTW.
yep, that's a new state for me. Never been there, never traveled out that way.
Okay.
So I get to face Princess Death Wish,
I
and
know Princess Deathwish was supposed to wrestle Rad at the TF Cruise show. We that obviously
yep,
didn't go through. Yep.
yep, and then that actually happened to be a three-way match with my partner is involved as well, Javi Kent.
Yep.
So it'd be us three going at it uh the 20th next Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that.
And that's WTW, correct?
Yes. Yep. WTW.
I'm very excited, but that's a first here on Sportswire. So you're going to be in the ring in a triple threat against Princess Deathwish and Javi Kent. Your tag team partner, rather fast, and you're going to be in a
Yeah.
match with your tag team partner there,
Yeah,
boy.
he's making it look like a test for me. He wants to make sure that I'll have his back no matter what, since he's been betrayed so much. But I'll take any test he wants to throw at me.
Mm.
I'm gonna win the match anyways. So he can test me all he wants.
Ooh, ooh. So is that a friendly? I would say shot there fired toward your tag team partner.
Uh, eh, we'll leave it up to him to decide how he takes it. Um, I just want him to know that partners or not, I give it my all.
Mm-hmm. And how exciting is it for you to wrestle in a company for the first time like WTW?
Oh, it's always it feels like the first time wrestling. That moment where oh, it's my first time, and then being out of state. It always feels good to be out of state sometimes. Uh, that the nerves and the excitement just take over, and I love it.
It's like playing in playoffs in the sports. It's like there's something different
Exactly.
about being in the postseason, and I definitely think that we'll get a chance to see some of that. And if you want to follow WTW, you can follow them right there. The show will be taking place next week. It's a live show in Newark, Delaware, not to be confused with Newark, New Jersey. But go out and
Mhm.
check them out. And yours truly just gave them a follow. So you're going to be wrestling again, Triple Threat announced here for the first time live on Sportswire Radio in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, where all wrestling matters. You'll be wrestling Princess Deathwish and your tag team partner, Javi Kent, WTW underscore hardcore Instagram page for more details. Looking forward to that. What would be your final words to Gabe Sayers before August 24th, All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament?
Gabe, I respect you. I appreciate everything you've done, but I'm gonna kick your ass, bud, and it's gonna be
Ooh.
a hell of a party.
What would be your final words to Eddie Exile September 21st?
Be ready. It's gonna be
All
different.
right, all right. That was kind of grew straight to the point, and for whatever reason, I'm gonna let Zilla, for whatever reason, ask this one. But who's your favorite Dragon Ball Z character?
That
Because he
is
seems Dragon Ball Z in the background.
my guy, Vegeta, the
Why?
prince, the
Why?
king. Oh, he's just, I love his attitude. I try to build up that confidence he has and just his raw power being
Kind of like you. You got some raw power. You're a guy
exactly,
that goes up in there. You're a
exactly.
heavy hitter. You're a hardcore slugger. All right, that's a good one. And what's the tattoo on the neck? What was the side of the neck tattoo?
Oh, that's the Volkna. It's a Viking symbol. For the
Oh,
nine realms.
wow. Okay, so there's a meaning to the tattoo.
Yep.
All right, very cool. Very, very cool. Well, looking forward to all that stuff. I definitely hope to have you here after the tournament, maybe before Exile. And who knows, maybe you'll be the second New Yorker in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, maybe the second New York born
Hey, be
wrestler.
great.
You never know. Well, we're going to find out. I'm going to have you here, I'm sure, after August 24th. You're welcome here anytime. And I want to give you the floor now. I want to give you some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? And it's been an absolute honor to have you. I'm looking forward to seeing what the future certainly is for you and everything else in between, especially coming up here next week. It was announced you're going to be at WTW. You're going to be here August 24th in Worcester, Massachusetts. Coming up, All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament, Wrestling Gabe Sayers, the Heartstopper, and September 21st, Eddie Exile. But want to give you the floor, want to give you some closing thoughts, and anything else you want to plug, share, or say. I turn it over to you.
Um, I appreciate you having me again. It was great being here. It's great talking to everybody. Um, just follow me on TikTok, on Instagram. Book me. I'm available as soon as possible. And you know, let's just have a party every day when you're with Rob O'Malley.
There's definitely a party, and it ain't going to be like no other party. And it's greatness on a different level when you have Rob here in the house. And that's also his Instagram information. So if you want to check him out on Instagram, that's his link there. If you want to check him out on TikTok, that's also where you can find him. He's right there on TikTok. I got the Instagram I'm going to put up here shortly, right up on the screen. So you can see that here one more time. So if you want to check him out, if you want to book him somewhere, I know Ohio he'd like to go to. I'll handle him for Ohio, no problem. But let's get those followers up. He's
Anyway,
at
anyway.
223 to
Yeah.
1,000. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get him some more followers. I have no doubt he's going to definitely do that. You're going to see him here one more time, September 21st. Eddie Exile. It's definitely going to be a banger of a match. It's going to be Savage Annihilation Warfare in Amsterdam, right in his stomping grounds. I have no doubt he's going to do much more and everything else in between. You want to book him? That's his link. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Listening to us on Sportswire Radio. That's where Carmen Sandiego is. Boy, Carmen's gonna kill me for saying that, Rob. Carmen's gonna want to do a Carlos Colon beatdown on me because Carlos
There you
Colon was
go.
famous in Puerto Rico. See, I know my
Yeah.
wrestling. I mean, obviously, I would
Oh,
have to know my wrestling, but yeah, the Colon family is. I mean, they're the family in Puerto Rico. But
yeah.
yes, Rob O'Malley, we're definitely on his team. He's definitely representing New York. And my favorite Dragon Ball Z character is Gohan and Goku. And Piccolo, Bulma, Killian, and Vegeta and Trunks. That's a lot of characters there, and
Yeah.
you almost have to pick one. And maybe you'll let us know when we're on the air with Aaron Blaze. But my friend, thank you so much for all that you've done for us in this sport. I can't wait to
Thanks,
see
man.
what you do coming up here in the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. I can't wait to see you coming up here against Eddie Exile. I can't wait to talk about what happens with Princess Death Wish, and can't wait to see what you do in TF Crew. Very excited about that in TF Crew, what the future may bring there, and everything else in between. And hope to meet you one of these days in our great state that we
Yeah.
share a
Yeah.
home in, and we'll make that happen. And also looking forward to having you here after the 24th and buy some merch. And thank you so much, friend, for your support. And I look forward to
No
seeing you
problem.
and seeing you in these great places and talking about it in a matter of weeks.
All right. Thank you.
All right, that was Rob O'Malley, the former WZW Multi Madness tournament winner. He was also the RWA Monroe County champion. He was also a part of the Riot in the Ring for NEW Underground Wrestling. You're going to see him coming up one more time, as announced this coming Saturday, July 20th. He'll be there at WTW's upcoming show in a triple threat match against Javi Kent and also Princess Death Witch. TF Crew Death Row show will be released, I'm sure, in a matter of weeks. He was also there in a fatal four-way match. You're going to see him also September 21st, Savage Annihilation Warfare against Eddie Exile. That's going to be a banger of a match. I couldn't have said it any better. And also Gabe Sayers, the Heartstopper, August 24th, All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where All Wrestling Matters. If you're on sportswireradio.org, you're going back to your regular scheduled programming. If you're on YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn, I'll be here in an hour. I might be back on X. I don't know why I'm not on X, but I'll have to figure that when I'm off the air. But until then, thank you so much, everybody, for your support. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where figuratively and literally all wrestling matters. And we even have our own tournament that's going hardcore for it. And this bearded wonder, whose greatness on a different level could very well be bringing that championship home to our great state. Maybe we'll have to give him a ticker tape celebration, New York style, because we haven't thrown one in New York in quite a while. We're going to find out after August 24th. We'll certainly see he's got the energy. He's ready to go. And thank you so much, everybody. I'll see everybody in a little while with the headline, Aaron Blaze.